What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Average Joe Sports Podcast. It's always Don here in Los Angeles, California. I got my dog with me, Albert, in lovely Sacramento. What's up, dog?
What's
You
going
ready
on,
to
my
do another
man?
show or what?
Let's get it, baby. It's a good, exciting day to be a sports fan, an NFL fan. So it was going to be a solid
It's been
show,
fucking nuts,
but
bro. Fucking
it's
nuts.
going to be a solid show. But right before we got on, some punches were thrown on on the rumor mill. Well, not even rumors. I guess it's official, but get some more juice to talk about.
Exactly. So obviously we had a whole agenda planned, and the NFL kind of hit us, like you said, hit us with a couple of jabs, couple of knockout punches. So we have to start off with the big news, right? Starting off with Aaron Rodgers. Ultimately, initially, I think we both kind of pondered where he was going to go, whether he was going to go to Denver, maybe outside chance, the Niners. The hopefuls had Tennessee Titans and a few other spots, but ultimately he did in fact stay with Green Bay Packers for, you see, obviously the massive contract, 4 years, 158 million guaranteed, 200 million total. I guess, what are your thoughts on that initially, in terms of, was it the right call for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers? Who was the biggest loser in terms of this happening?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, Aaron Rodgers got what he wanted. He wanted that spotlight. I think we were talking about it last week. He wanted the attention. He got that. I know earlier
Yeah,
in the season there was like I would have said that he was looking to move on, but as it got closer to like actually happening, it was just didn't make sense. Like the Packers, they're built to win. It was his best team they built around him in a while. That they have the best chance to make it to a championship run next year.
right.
Um, so Packers got the guy they wanted. They definitely did not want to go with Jordan Love. They didn't have really a backup plan with that. I would
Right,
have said the biggest losers would have been the Broncos, but the Broncos kind of averted to something else. So we'll talk about that in a bit. But
right.
it turned out good for them. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everything worked out for the Packers. Right, we talked about this right before the show. The increase in the salary cap higher than the anticipated amount definitely helped keep them, and then obviously subsequently they were able to quickly tag Devontae Adams as well. So obviously Devontae Adams will be coming back, earning that money, a large amount of money for the single season, pushing back that contract for one more year, but obviously this is a good move for the Packers. I think this is obviously a great move for the Aaron Rodgers. Like for all the points that you just said, this is his best opportunity to win. They have
yeah,
a familiar coaching staff. Obviously, it was new a year or two ago. Now it's another familiar. It's familiar coaching staff from last year. They have it appears that they have a great defense. Hopefully, we'll see what in terms of the salary cap, who they're able to retain and whatnot. But um, one of the main things we also talked about before the show is making sure that O line is healthy. Obviously, their two best O linemen were hurt for the bulk of last year. David Bakhtiari, Jenkins was hurt. They did come back. They weren't their true selves, and obviously they ran into the Niners. But I think this is definitely the best situation for the Packers and the
yeah,
Niners. I mean, excuse me, and the Pack and Rodgers.
Rodgers.
But also what you mentioned earlier, another year, it seems like 5 or 6 years. Aaron Rodgers is flirting with leaving the Packers, and you mentioned it several times how much of a drama queen is. He loves the fucking drama. Like
Oh, he loves it. He
he
loves it,
loves it. And
man.
then there's one point of like, okay, flirting with the idea of leaving and understanding your options, but it does seems like Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers just loves the show. He loves the thrill.
You know who did it best before him? He was on the bench when all this was happening. He's Brett Favre. He saw
Right.
him back and forth. And he was just taking notes. Like, okay,
He's like, oh,
okay,
I
this is
can't
how
wait
you
to do
do
that.
it.
Let me
I
build my
know.
cloud up.
So he said, I know. So he's just giving them a taste of his own medicine. Second right thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But where it comes down to it's the playoffs. I feel like too. So he's only won championship in the past 15, 16 years. How long has he been in the league? Got to make
Yeah.
another playoff run. He's always getting kicked out by the Niners and by who else? I don't know.
I can't even.
Yeah,
I have to look back
yeah.
at it, but it seemed like the Niners are his daddy
Not
for
not the
sure.
Rams, but yeah, I think he's 0-3 against them. But still, like, yeah, if you want to cement your legacy as a top three, top five quarterback, you got to make it to a fucking Super Bowl and to a couple NFC championships. He's only been to what, two NFC championships, three, maybe three, I think,
Yeah,
maybe two.
something like that. He's definitely got, if he wants to cement like his legacy and really kind of push it over the edge. He's definitely got
Man,
to get that second Super
it's
Bowl. At least get to the Super Bowl.
all about the playoffs. Fuck MVPs. it's all about the playoffs. You got to get a couple wins, make an NFC championship appearance. The NFC's wide open up, as we always talked about it. Right now, wide open.
Right.
It's going to be a three-way battle, I think, between the Rams, Niners, and Packers going to next season. But you got to make your money.
My Cowboys. You wanted me hey, sleep on us. Hey, you wanted me to be positive. I'm trying to be positive.
No, you're right. Okay. You're right.
Hey, dude, I'm trying to be positive. Yeah, dog. We got a punter's chance, right? I mean, if we got pretty much a shoe-in for the division. But so moving on to Russell Wilson, obviously the second, if not probably the biggest news. A lot of people probably at this point thought Rodgers was going to come back. But, right after Rodgers happened, obviously they announced Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos. And I feel like we have to talk about the whole deal, right? Because a lot of people have been talking about Russell Wilson. And typically, I feels like a lot of people talk about the whole deal, but not a lot of people are. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks, obviously, they're confirming that they are going to rebuild, right? And in the deal, they got Drew Lock, they got Noah Fant. Noah Fant obviously has had some injury issues. But the talent is there in theory, right? The talent is there.
He was a former first round pick. But,
yeah,
right?
so
or was he second rounder? The talent's there.
I don't think he was a first. I think second or third. But the talent is definitely is there. Was he first?
I think he was.
You don't know shit. Oh, you don't know shit.
But you could blame
put your life on it.
Okay, I will.
Put your life on it. Let's see what you got. Let's see. So while you're doing that, I'll tell you the rest of the deal. They got 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. I believe they got a 5th-round pick, and obviously Russell Wilson went to Denver with the 4th-round pick. So, and they also got a promising defensive lineman. I've started to read up on them just a little bit. Definitely great makeup. It's fake news, dude. It's bullshit. Yeah, it's fake news. You don't know shit.
Come on now. So if I pick
you must have used Yahoo or some bullshit
pick 20,
search engine.
Pick 20, round 1, 2019 draft. But you can blame that on his lack of production to a quarterback, maybe, or lack of quarterback in Denver. So I don't know. He hasn't had the best quarterback. So
and now he's traveling up to Seattle with the same fucking situation.
With the same quarterback. But with
man, at least he did get that first round money.
Yeah. So we'll see where that goes. How do you like the draft? Who do you think won? Who do you think lost? Is there any
the combine?
Oh, you don't want to talk about the Russell Wilson trade more?
Oh, the trade. Okay, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think ultimately, I don't think the Denver Broncos are. I mean, I think they're great. They're great defense. They have a ton of fucking weapons. I mean, they have a ton of weapons, and God, I can't think of the running back that everybody stashed. I can't think of his name.
Javonte
Williams.
Melvin Gordon might be a free agent, maybe.
He's a free agent. They got 2 big ass guys, and Cortland Sutton. They got Tim Patrick, as a real big body. And they got
Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy. And so they're good. They're good. They have a kind of run of the mill O line. I'm sure they'll look to improve that as well. But I think it's a win-win. I think obviously the Denver Broncos they have a team that's if in theory if you were to swap out a subpar quarterback entering a Russell Wilson, they'd be Super Bowl contenders. But I do like what the haul that they got. I think they got a lot for Wilson. I think they got 2 firsts, 2 seconds. I mean, a quarterback to play. I mean, that's whatever, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But to get a flyer on Noah Fant, I think they got a lot for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, it was a good pick. I don't know. Maybe another first-round pick would have been nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, definitely the 2 seconds kind of.
Yeah, if Russell Wilson does like last year, he didn't really produce like we thought he would, or like he
was playing like a baby back bitch.
He was trending down in the wrong direction. He was looking a little chubby. He had that James Harden sweatsuit on.
Slim fast coach.
Yeah, so it looked weird. So if he picks it up like Tom Brady did after he left New England, how Rodgers picked it up once he got Matt LaFleur, the coach. LaFleur.
Yeah, LaFleur.
So we'll see if he picks it up. Man, that Broncos got a good deal. I think Seattle, they didn't have a first round pick because of fucking Jamal Adams. So they gave away 2 first-round picks to get Jamal Adams, and they got 2 first-round picks for Russell fucking Wilson, who is
and 2 seconds though.
And 2 seconds.
And 2
still,
seconds.
Yeah.
That's still a big deal. 2 seconds.
I think we played this game before. How many draft picks have Seattle Seahawks hit in the first 2 rounds?
Not a lot. They've hit a lot.
So we'll see what they do with it. They could turn that into some productive players. Obviously, it'll be a lot better. But they got the number 9 pick. We'll see. Well, the Denver Broncos picks aren't going to be bottom 10, bottom 15. They're going to be probably 25, 26, 27. Next year when they make the playoffs. So it won't look the best, but I mean, it's going to be high 20s picks, low 20s picks that Seahawks get.
I mean, if you're the odds maker if you're, I like the chances of the Seahawks banking that, not banking, I don't say that, but I mean, in the event that any injury could happen that would derail the Broncos season in terms of their draft pick. Anything happens to Russell Wilson over, the next 2 years or so. That draft pick looks very attractive. Anything happens to any of these receivers or, whatever case may be, I don't know. But obviously Denver got their guy, Russell Wilson. The Seattle Seahawks, they weren't going to win with Russell Wilson. They did the right thing. So it's a matter of, did they get the right haul? That is remained to be seen. So let's jump into the combine. Let's talk about, I'll start off with my riser, and then we'll start with yours. From the combine, certainly a small, sparky guy. Hopefully you don't have the same guy, because it seems like we do this a lot.
Oh, I know.
But I got fucking Calvin Austin III out of Memphis, the receiver. Very popular riser now. Little tiny guy, about 5'9", just flies around, pops around everywhere, right? Obviously, he's been down. His production's been there. His production was there his last year, but obviously very small in stature. But considering the modern NFL, there's a chance for him to have a significant role in a lot of spaces. But to give you some actual numbers, he ran a 4.32. He had a 39 vertical, in which I'll kind of correlate that to my faller, and then 11.3 broad jump. So definitely, just reading up on him, I think he definitely went from kind of a day 3 sleeper to a kind of a for sure day 2 guy. I think for sure he's going to be in that second to four round mix there. And he's just, he's a guy that also in the Super Bowl, the fucking Senior Bowl practices, he obviously opted out of the Senior Bowl, but he was everywhere. Everybody was talking about how Calvin Austin is flying around. Put him in space, he can get around and the I watched some highlights today just to kind of put the tape in my head, instead of just reading about him, flying around everywhere. I've seen him in reverses, seen him running all different types of routes as far as the full route tree. Good as nasty. So that's who I have as my riser. Who do you have?
Yeah, I was looking at Calvin Austin. I think last part we were talking about who we wanted on the Niners and Cowboys, and he was one of the guys I was trying to aim for. Him and Christian Watson, a small guy who can return punts, bring that speed element to the physicality that Debo brings, and to the diverse game that Ayuk brings. But my riser, I put Jordan Davis, defensive tackle.
Big boy.
Yeah, defensive tackle. 340. What, he's in at 340. I guess he plays at 350, 360. D tackle, 6'6", man. Just a beast of a dude in the trenches. You probably noticed him in the championship game, man. He's not your average just plug in the whole Vince Wilfork type of guy, even though he was pretty quick on his feet. Or who's the guy the Bucks have?
Not the Dominican Sue. The
guy from Washington.
Via.
Via.
There we go.
We ran a 4.7 840 at 340, bro. That is wild. That's wild. He was supposed to be maybe a 2018, somewhere around there, but I don't see how he gets out of the top 13, 12 picks now. He'd be a perfect fit with the Ravens or Steelers. I don't think Ravens have a pick that low, but Steelers, I think they're at 12 or 13. I don't know, quote me on that. But yeah, man, he's a beast. I definitely like what he did, man. What you want to aim for? This is the GM hat that I've been so experienced wearing throughout my life. Is just first round picks. Get just elite traits guy, man. Elite traits matches with the tape. You're not going to be able to get that in the second, third, or fourth round guys. You're not going to be able to get 6'6" guys that can run 4.4s, 4.5, 4.6s. So yeah, get those guys in the first round, because they're not going to be there in the second, third round. So
right.
Jordan Davis, that's my biggest riser.
Yeah. So just to kind of put things in perspective, Aiden Hutchinson, I think he ran like a 4.78. Aiden Hutchinson, widely known, projected top 3 pick, the first pick overall, probably not, but top 3 pick, and significantly lighter than Jordan Davis. Patrick Mahomes, a lot of comps has been out there. He ran a 4.8. And we know what he is in terms of his speed and his elusiveness. So obviously Jordan Davis rolls up. I'm on board with you. He's going to be definitely a top 15. Definitely not outside of the top 20. Top 15 pick. Who I have as my follower, in which I actually messaged you because of the tape during the year, Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks, I actually messaged you during the year. I think probably, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, and said, "Hey, this guy's nasty. He's big. His size is great, and some of the things. I mean, he has, he can run routes. He can get separation. The only doubts that there was that he didn't have that kind of separation speed. He didn't have that long speed, and obviously he went to the combine, and he didn't help his case." Just to put things in perspective, Treylon Burks is 6'3", 225 out of Arkansas. Questions about his speed. He followed it up with a 4.55, which isn't terrible for his size, but it didn't kind of answer any of the questions. It didn't alleviate any of those concerns that anybody had. If he went out and ran a sub 4.5, a 4.48, something like that, 4.47, 4.45, I think that would have definitely helped his draft stock, but it didn't really help. On top of that, he had a vertical of 33. The crazy thing is he's significantly taller than who I mentioned earlier, Calvin Austin, but he's having the same numbers in terms of the vertical, in terms of the broad jump. I mean, Calvin Austin he just blew it out of the park. So Treylon Burks, someone who did not alleviate any of those concerns that a lot of scouts have as far as his speed. So we'll see what he has. I definitely think that
I'm a big fan of his. I know he's not like that game burning, just breakaway speed type of receiver. I still think he'll be able to win at that next level in the NFL, which is being physical. Like that's his game. His game is never to just like fly away. I did have him as a follower a bit just because that 4 week didn't help him. But I still think I'm still all on board if someone's gonna pick him the first round, man. I like him. He's a beast. There's so many guys, our receivers that ran slower that still produce in the NFL, like Keenan Allen, Anquan Bolden. Those are just physical guys that just won. They just can just, I don't know, little basketball post up shit. My stock down follower is Cody. Is it Cody Pickett? Is that his first name?
Yep.
His hand size. That's the big thing. I just want to talk about it. I'm not too sure if it's a biggest concern for me. I don't think anyone really has that small. Michael Vick, I think, had the smallest hands compared to his. His is 9 inches.
Right.
I don't even know how big mine are.
Those
sturdy hands. But yeah, man, that's he wears gloves.
Little hand motherfucker, Kenny Pickett.
No, yeah, little baby, little foot. You're a little foot. That is
yeah. Long. What is it? Long necks don't play with three horns.
There we go. And Petrie, that's Sarah. The whole gang.
Petrie, that's motherfucker.
Yeah, he had a small hand. He throws with gloves. And not too many people do. Kurt Warner did. Brady kind of did a little bit. Peyton Manning. But I don't know. It's just just no quarterback stood out for me in the draft class or in the combine. What's his face?
Malik Willis?
He didn't do any drills really. He just threw some drills. He didn't do he didn't do the agility or anything. He just threw to the receivers. He didn't really
yeah. And it's crazy how much in awe people are just to see someone who's not anticipating any type of rush. There's no secondary, just throwing a long ball. That's it. And people are like, oh my God, look at that ball. It's like,
I know.
What?
Yeah, that's wild. And he's supposed to be the fastest quarterback in the class. I don't get why he didn't run a 40.
Because there's no point. There's no point because the tape speaks for itself. You could only he wasn't going to run a 40. Running a 40 was only going to hurt him. That was the only possible thing that could have happened.
So Lamar Jackson, I kind of had that thought too. Lamar Jackson, he didn't run the 40, and he got drafted 32 or 30 to the Ravens. If he ran the 40 and ran a 4.38 or 4.36, you don't think he would have gone top 20?
Not necessarily, because it's like they already knew he was fast, right? They already knew he was fast. So in terms of what if he goes out there and then like he runs a little less, like because they already know he's fast from his tape. So people have all this imagination, like, oh, this guy might actually fucking run force this or whatever. Have all these unrealistic expectations. You go out there and don't meet that, then it's like okay. And then you overanalyze. It's like, is he that fast? I don't know.
Yeah.
It just not that he couldn't help, but I think that you can. There's a more of a chance you could probably hurt than help. And it's just probably unnecessary risk.
I just say if you're a fast guy, rush off your speed, bro. If you like DK Metcalf, when he's a famous video that went around that was viral with Pete Carroll, he's a big motherfucker, ripped, fucking.
Yeah.
His biggest thing is his muscles, and he took his shirt off, bro, and like that got him like.
Dude, that got you hot.
Yeah, that got the Seahawks front office hot.
They did.
If you got it, show it. You know what I mean? If you got fucking, if you can jump high, do the fucking vertical. It's fucking.
Yeah.
You know, that's my thing.
All right, let's move on to Calvin really real quick, and then we'll go to NBA. We're spending quite time on NFL. So Calvin Ridley, obviously, he got suspended, and he got suspended for a whole season for a $1,500 bet that he said that he made when he was stepped away from the team. Or somewhere in mid-November, beginning of November. I forgot exactly when, but I'll start with my thoughts on it. My thoughts are this in terms of like we put up a poll on the page saying, hey, should they be allowed to gamble on games they're not involved in? And I don't think so. I just don't. I just don't think that. Yeah, NFL players. Yeah. I just don't think in order to keep the integrity of the product, you're not in that game. But you have relationships with everybody. Like you allow all these players to start betting on games, like. People already question the product. Like already, like
what the refs. You allow those hundreds of players. It's not worth it. The integrity. Those hundreds of players and with millions, if not maybe a billion fans to bet the money you're making in those. Bazillion maybe.
Quadrillion.
It was just integrity, man. I'm all about integrity in the sport of football in sports.
Doing the right thing when nobody's looking.
Exactly. You get it. You see Malik Willis when he was giving away those clothes to outside the combine. Future #1 pick, integrity.
It's a philanthropist.
You know those web graphs? You seen those web graphs?
Yeah.
I want integrity. I want.
Oh my God! No, you don't.
I want confidence. I want hunger, motivation, and that's what I'm gonna build. An integrity web graph.
Just tell me you're a goddamn Russell Wilson fan.
Oh God, no. Yeah, see, that's too much. That's just too corny. You know, integrity can only bring you so much. Then the red flag.
I thought you were a big integrity guy.
I love integrity, but Russell Wilson's a red flag. That's just too much integrity.
You get too much. So then essentially it's too much integrity.
I love integrity, but Russell Wilson's a red flag.
So you want just enough, not too much fucking integrity.
Just bubbling at the stovetop. You know, sometimes you hear it bubble over, and you're like, "Oh shit, what's the stove?" That's Russell Wilson.
Turn that shit off. There's too much integrity.
Yeah, too much integrity.
All right, cool.
Can't have it.
All right.
Won't allow it.
So let's
Calvin Ridley. A year's a long time, but you did have to make a statement about it. It's the first issues that came up since gambling has been more popularized throughout the great state of America.
Oh my God.
So yeah, years long, but that's a statement that Roger G put out there. He can't have it. That fucks up everything involved. It's shitty. I mean, it's $1,500. He gave up $1 million. He's losing, and his next contract too.
Yeah.
You got back there.
I don't know. I was like, oh shit, what's going on here? People trying to get in on this fire.
Shit.
No cameos in this bitch. No. I think it was something he made a $1,500 bet, and the odds are terrible. But I see all the jokes and the memes. That he lost $11 million.
He bet on your favorite type of bet. 3 different parlays.
Oh my God! He bet a parlay too.
He did a 3-game parlay, a 5-game parlay, and an 8-game parlay.
Oh my God! What do you just give it? I tell people all the time, you just donate the money. If you're doing 5-team, 8-team,
3 games doable. Yeah, 3 games maybe doable.
3 games tops. But you're doing 5-team, 8-team. They're like, oh my God, I can bet $20 to win like 200. Obviously, because it's not gonna happen.
You know that was his first time betting too. He saw that 8-game parlay. He probably put like 100, and he saw like 10,000 or some shit. And you're like,
yeah, he's like, oh, juicy. He probably tell his boys like, damn, if this hits, like motherfucker, you're not gonna hit. Stupid.
I know. He's all telling Kyle Pitts, hey, is this parlay hit?
He's like, nah, brother. And fucking NFL hit him with that Jumanji, that fucking in the jungle, you must wait till the dice rolls 5 or 8.
Yeah.
He's fucking, and that's the key thing. And before we close out, that's the key thing is that people are, Adam Schefter, all these guys, they keep saying the NFL has suspended him at least for the season, meaning it's still going. They're saying, hey, you're not playing this year. I don't think it's going to go any further, but I think it's key that they keep saying.
He's got to reinstate.
I don't know.
And maybe he just like starts hanging out with AB in off season or some shit. And seriously,
and that's the thing. That these guys they've been playing football consistently since they were like fucking infants. So he's coming off a major injury, right? Or he had an injury. It's fully had mental health issues. Obviously, he's got other concerns. So now you run the risk that he's sitting at home for a fucking year, and what other trouble is he going to get into? So we'll leave it at that. Let's tap into the NBA. We're flying through some time here, so let's talk about the best and worst. I'll start off with the best, and we'll go to you. The best and worst contracts in NBA. I've reported on the page, so I'll just kind of go with those guys. Kevin Love, we know that he's getting about 30 plus million a year. Russell Westbrook, he's commanding 40-something million. John Wall, you mentioned Unicorn. Al Horford, this motherfucker, I didn't know he was making that much, but put him on the page for 30 plus million as well. And then I actually kind of honorable mention, I had Tim Hardaway Jr. He's getting paid 25 or something million a year. He had a decent year before when he got the contract, but there's definitely some regression there. And then Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry's been having a down year. He's older. I think he's like 37, 36. And he's got a decent contract himself. So those are my guys. Do you have anybody else to add to that?
No, I just had John Wall, but I didn't know you were gonna name 8 of them. I had John Wall.
Hey, let me name all the bad contracts.
I know, man. I'll add Tobias Harris to it. He's not the worst contract, or I don't know. It could be better, but you got to pay a premium for those type of positions, those scoring wing type of guys. I'll give an honorable mention to. I'm just thinking back, Nicholas Batum back in the day. That was a terrible contract. The one that Luol Deng, that's
don't mention the fucking Timothy Mozgov too. Timothy Mozgov, I think he had like a 3-year, $64 million deal, and we were just kind of that window where we kind of sucked. And we just wanted to give anybody a contract.
It was like the new CBA year. It was like before it or after, where it was like everything's shot up and the fucking offseason crazy. That's what I think. All of those guys got deals at the same time. But
it was like Oprah. It was like an Oprah fest. You get a deal. You get a deal. Fuck.
Man.
Fucking Timothy Mozgov.
Well, dang too.
That's enough. That's enough.
Luckily enough, the Kings haven't had just terrible contracts.
Oh, don't worry. I got something for your ass. I got something for the Kings. Not saying that I'm battling with you, but I got something for the Kings. Don't worry. We're going to get there. So I'll let you start with the best contracts. Because I kind of focused on.
John Morant. I was looking for someone that's still on his rookie deal. If Zion was producing, maybe he would have been included, but he's nowhere to be seen. But John Morant, he's 12 mil and 15 mil the next couple of years, and then they have a qualifying offer they can make to him. He will be restricted free agent, and they'll extend it for another 4 or 5, kind of how they did with Luka, give him a max contract. So you're in team control for the next 9 years, or the first 9 years of your NBA lockdown. What they could have done with Halliburton, but
right.
But yeah, John Morant, man, he's a baller. He's the face of the Grizzlies. He's just.
Now he's the face. Now he's the face. No, come on. Hey, I remember last week. No, you're like, if only the Grizzlies had a superstar.
No,
if only.
They need that 2-pronged star power. Give me most NBA teams have that 3-some or 2-some. That's why I was saying that they're just balling without.
Yeah.
Besides John Morant, this is the face. That goes without saying. So that's the Mr. Grizzly. That's all I got.
Okay, cool. I got for the best contracts, I have Joker. Joker at 5 years, 147 million. That is a fucking steal. I think that's probably one of the best, if not the best contract in the league.
Yeah.
Fred VanVleet got him at 4 years, $85 million. I think that's nice. I think he's definitely a $30 million player according to the modern NBA, like what guys are getting paid. I think he's getting paid, but $21 million a year. That's, I mean, I get he's a journeyman, but he's outperforming. I mean, he's past that now. I mean, his true shooting percentages he's not as efficient, but he's nice on defense. He's nice. He dishes it out. He can get hot. I mean, he's not. I think he's definitely well over that 4 year, $85 million.
He just signed that like a couple years ago, right? But I think they had Kyle Lowry starting, so they signed him as like a sixth man, which they got lucky. Like if Kyle Lowry wasn't there and they would have signed him, they probably would have. The Raptors, or he would have had the leverage. And
I got two more motherfuckers for you. DeMar DeRozan, 3 year, $82 million deal. Obviously, as of right now, he's part of that first year of that deal. Balling out of control. Looks like that's a definitely value pick for the Bulls. Finally, Jared Allen from fucking from the Cavs. When he first got that contract, I remember on our my other chat, baseball chat, whatever. They're like, oh, Jared Allen, they're just fucking NBA just fucking shitting out $100 million contracts. Now looking at that contract, 5 years, $100 million. He's nice. He's showing that he's got moves inside. He can shoot a little, not a lot, just a little bit. He can shoot a three. He's okay, but I mean, he's a monster on defense, rebounds. He's putting up about 16, 17 points a game. I mean, he's an analytical dream. I mean, he's textbook analytical guy. They love that type of player. So let's go to. I love him. I wish he was on the Lakers. I wish he was on the Lakers. But yeah, that's a nice one. We'll go with most overrated and underrated players. I'll let you start this time, brother, for whichever one you want to start with.
Most underrated. I got my boy, DeJounte Murray from the Spurs. They're not in playoff contention, but he's just an all-around badass right now. I know he made the All-Star team, maybe as a reserve. But he's dishing what's that?
Yeah. You're right. He did.
So he's dishing out 18, 8, and 8. He's getting damn near triple doubles every single time. And like just when you think Popovich or the Spurs are done and kind of just going to fizzle away, Popovich always brings some monster creation from the fucking depths, and they just start balling out. I really wish they would have
birthing these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I really wish he would have kept Derek White. I don't see why they traded him.
Is that the guy with all the anxiety issues? No,
I don't know. He went to the Celtics. He was kind of like DeJounte. He was like the DeJounte Murray before DeJounte Murray was who that is.
Okay, yeah. I'm talking about somebody else then. I think I'm talking about the guy from Iowa from a few years
that guy's been long gone.
Yeah, but he's one with the anxiety issues and whatnot. I think
he couldn't fly.
Yeah. Oh shit!
On the Kings.
You're in the NBA. What the fuck?
That's crazy, huh? But he busted everywhere in college.
Hey, Monday night game.
Derek White, they traded him just trade deadline. So that maybe freed up some more spots or some time for DeJounte Murray. He's a baller. He's only getting better. What else do I have? I don't think one for most overrated. So you could go ahead and say you're underrated.
Oh, let's do that. Let's do that. Underrated. You have I already mentioned Jared Allen, but DeJounte Murray. That was my number one, and I had Fred VanVleet.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah.
Nice.
Overrated. I got two Kings players. I got Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. And the reason why I have them is because
1-2 punch.
Yeah, and the reason why I have them is because they get a lot of clout. Don't get me wrong, they're great players, and they get a lot of recognition because they do put up numbers. Especially Sabonis. This motherfucker puts up, he's putting up 13 rebounds a night, 20 points, 50, 18, 20 points a game, sometimes higher than that. But he's putting up numbers, and he's a couple of years ago nobody knows who he is, and now it seems like everybody knows who the fuck Sabonis is, right? But the things and De'Aaron Fox, obviously, he's been on fire lately too as well. But people know De'Aaron Fox is a baller as well, and he's a well-known player. These aren't like closet players or people. Everybody knows who De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis is for sure now. And in terms of what they can do in the modern NBA, I just think because of all the things that they're lacking as far as on defense. They both can't, for whatever reason, they can't shoot free throws. I mean, not great. Not. You would think that they would shoot better. In the modern NBA, shooting low 70s, and that's. I mean, if they need to be higher than that, and then on top of that, they're not shooting threes. De'Aaron Fox, he every now and then he can hit. He gets a little streak, but he just it's not him. He can't shoot
Yeah.
threes, which is weird because he's got a nice stroke. It's not like it's an awkward shot. It's just he just doesn't have it. So from a standpoint of like all around the board, can't shoot threes. They don't defend well. The free throws are lacking. It just seems like from a analytical standpoint, they're overrated for what you're actually getting.
I get what you're saying, but I just don't even think they're like, what are they rated? I don't think anyone's overrating them. So that's my argument. Like, I don't know. I just don't hear that much talk about like, oh, Fox should have made the All-Star game or Sabonis. Like, yeah, Sabonis wasn't talked about.
Sabonis.
I felt like when Sabonis got traded, the biggest thing was like, oh my god, they got Sabonis. Like people were shitting on him. Like that's,
really?
Yeah.
I think Kings fans were shitting on him. Kings fans were sitting on him. I think the rest of the NBA was like, "Oh my God!" If you ask outside King fans, are like, "Sabonis is nice." All they see in Sabonis is he putting up 20 and 13 every night. Like that's what they. But they don't understand. He's not good on defense.
He was like fantasy brought Sabonis' name to the top tier, I think, or upper echelon. But like I follow a lot of Kings people and a lot of analytical people on Twitter, and they fucking shit on the Kings for trading away Halliburton. And so that's what I seen. I just seen a lot of like, oh, what the fuck were you doing trading away Halliburton? So that's why I'm saying like, oh, that's why Sabonis is not overrated. But
I think he's overrated from the fan base, not from like NBA aficionados.
I see that.
Yeah, like the fan. I think definitely the fans.
And even De'Aaron Fox, like he kind of was terrible to start the year off with Halliburton, and now he's getting a little better. But I don't see how my thing is his game, I don't think is going to age well.
Yeah, of course not. He can't defend. He can't shoot the long ball. He can't shoot free throws. So it's not like he can finesse his game, and then now he's going to he can't shoot the long ball, and then also he's not great at the free throw line. So it's like
and his speed is his game. His speed is his game.
Yeah,
and his speed will only last so long. So that doesn't age well. But Halliburton's game ages.
If Fox can shoot, if he can shoot 80 plus from the free throw line, then it's like, okay, you could get older and you can kind of do certain moves. You can kind of tailor your game to getting to the line or whatnot, but it's like you shooting like 72%, 71% from the line. You're shooting 27% from 3-point line. It's like you're not a great defensive player. It's just too many deficiencies. Like for me,
I'm on board. You got me.
I know you want to talk about this. Let's move on. Let's move on to NCAA to wrap up kind of your segment, I guess. Let's go. I'll let you name a college, and what we're going to do, folks. We're going to name a college, and we're going to play a little game of naming off play. Don't look on your phone.
I was going to start the timer.
Oh, okay. So we're going to
the timer up top.
Okay. Oh, yeah. We're gonna name a college, and then we're gonna shoot off some players and see how many players we're gonna name from that college. Don't name some bullshit like Creighton or some shit.
Oh, I gotta know the players. So I'm gonna name my college, and then I'm gonna name the people I know from that college.
Oh, okay. Got it. Now I get it. Completely get it.
I get it. Okay. You want to go first, or want me to go first? Obviously,
you go first. I want to see the model. You got it.
All right. I guess I was debating if I wanted to go to Kentucky or Duke.
Kentucky.
Do I want to go to Kentucky? I think we'll go Duke.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'll go Duke, and we'll start at 30.
How about we do this? We'll go 1-1 then. 1-1, just to kind of kill one school.
Okay. Oh, one school?
Like you name a player, I'll name a player. We'll go.
Okay. So Duke, Bagley, Marvin Bagley.
Okay, Marvin Swagley. Okay, Kyrie Irving.
RJ Barrett.
All right. I will go Zion.
Jason Tatum.
Nice. I'll go Cam Reddish.
Nice. Jason Reddick. Do you say or JJ Reddick?
Yeah, we did not say him.
JJ Reddick.
Oh damn! I think Kyle Singer is Kansas. No, Kyle Singer.
I think that's Duke. Yeah. I will go with. I just had him and I lost him. Nolan Smith.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Who the fuck is Nolan Smith?
Point guard. He's assistant coach now.
Oh, God. What the fuck kind of shit is it? Brandon Ingram. I was going to say Brandon Ingram.
That's a good one. Fuck.
You, Banchero.
Yeah, Paulo Banchero.
No.
Okay. Fuck. Here, you can go.
Yeah. Uh,
Oh, I got one. I lost it. With the Bulls. What's his name? He's in the same class as Bagley. You got traded to the Magic. You got traded to the Magic.
Don't remember, dog.
Starts with a W.
So let's we're gonna move on from this and go to MLB. We're at 40 minutes. We're crunched for time. We're fucking blowing through this. Fucking talking about Aaron Rodgers for 20 minutes. Fucking punk ass Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you won. You won. I'll let you have it. No, you didn't want to say that.
No, I don't.
All right. MLB. Let's blow through these awards. MLB. Who do you got for AL and NL MVP?
AL MVP. I got Ohtani. I think he'll be the first back-to-back MVP since Miggy. He's coming the face of like baseball in a cool way.
Yeah.
He's versatile. I think that will make him more popular to vote on. He'll have he'll have a great ERA. He'll be league leader and and batting average.
He's nice.
So Ohtani, I got that, and then NL MVP. You might have this one. I know you like him, Juan Soto.
You already know though.
Yeah, he's going to be he's the best hitter in baseball, pretty much. I think he'll be contending for the Triple Crown. He's a baller. That's all I got to say.
Yep.
Yeah, and they won't win get into the playoffs. They might with the expanded playoffs. But if they do, it's pretty much because of him. If he can carry them to a wild card, the Nationals,
that'd be fucking ridiculous.
That's MVP. Give him the MVP.
Yeah. I got Juan Soto on NL MVP. I think this dude is just nasty. They call him Childish. The Childish Bambino is his nickname. He's really nasty. Triple crown threat. Him with Vladdy. But he's nasty. He's gonna compete in batting average. Dude doesn't strike out, walks a ton. He's gonna knock guys in. At least the most he can with that team. But AL MVP, these are gonna be 2 homer picks, I guess. But I'm gonna go Mike Trout, bounce back year in terms of health. And I think what is going to be key is not only that he stays healthy, but obviously if I'm picking him, I'm banking on Anthony Rendon on the Angels to stay healthy as well. Anthony Rendon is a nasty offensive player, but his health issues. Pretty much, Angels have 2 nasty offensive players in Anthony Rendon and Mike Trout, but they cannot stay healthy for the life of them. They do not play a full 160 or 150. They're usually around 120 to 150 range. And obviously both of them missed a significant amount of time last year. So I got them 2. I'll start off with AL and NL Cy Young. AL, kind of my riskier pick. I got Dylan Cease from the pitcher from the Chicago White Sox. Dude was nasty. If he can continue to put it together and kind of provide more innings pitched, and we'll see what that brings him. But he had pitched 165 innings, 220 strikeouts in 165 innings last year. He had a sub-4 ERA. He's got a great offense backing him with Luis Roberts, Jose Abreu, Tim Anderson. All these guys. They're going to score a ton of runs. So he's going to have the wins. Obviously wins is kind of a dying metric in terms of pitching. He's going to be great. NL Cy Young, I got Walker Buehler. I think, again, another guy that has a ton of offensive support. He's going to be the guy for them this year. We'll see what happens with Kershaw, if they're going to bring him back, whatever the case may be. But Walker Buehler is definitely going to be the guy. I have him. Who do you have for AL Cy Young and NL Cy Young?
AL Cy Young. I'm going to 2. Garrett Cole. He had the best strikeout to walk ratio in the MLB last year. I think he finished 2nd. He hasn't won Cy Young, I don't think. So he'd be a little more motivated to or did he win last year? No. But yeah, he'll be a little motivated to get it. And then Lucas Giolito. I think the White Sox will be pretty good this year. If they play baseball, and I'm sure that he will be a reason to that. The last 13 games, I think he had one of the best ERAs at 2.65. The last 13 games. So he was hot to end the season. Maybe some things started clicking more than usual. So I think he'll carry it on into next season. So those 2 guys, Cole and Giolito.
Right.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
And then NL Cy Young, we did it again. Buehler. 2.47 ERA. He was one of 4 pitchers to throw over 200 innings. So he has that workload, and he'll probably be the ace into the staff of Kershaw, which I don't know, kind of leaning towards not expecting him back. And he's a competitor. He's a savage, man. I'm sure he's up for the challenge. I think he might take it to another level.
Yeah, I definitely on line with Walker Buehler. He's a workhorse, and it's crazy that you said that he's one of 4 guys that pitch over 200 innings. It's just crazy. Like, I mean, we had guys back in the day that were flirting with 300 innings pitched. Now it's just crazy. Like, you got a guy that he could throw 150 innings, 160 innings, like Dylan Cease, 165. And in my eyes, naturally, the optics of it's like, let's see what he can do. But honestly, that's about what pitchers are pitching, maybe a little bit more. But that they're pitching less than 200 innings, quite frequently. So those are our picks. We know that I seen a tweet probably maybe an hour before the show. Bob Nightingale, I don't know how credible he is. I mean, it seems like he's hit or fucking miss. But there's a certain level of optimism that they are closer to the deal. Hopefully tonight they can wipe out this talks about 14-team fucking playoffs. I think that's absurd. I think 12 is kind of the max. That's what it should be. I'd like to keep it under the same format. We'd love the MLB, the AL and the NL wildcard game. I think that's great for baseball. So hopefully they're close. As of right now, talking to the guys in our chat, it looks like as of right now, I think the first couple of series are canceled, but there is a plan to kind of recuperate those in kind of 7-inning doubleheaders. So hopefully we'll be able to get that. And then we'll finish it off with MMA. Obviously, Masvidal and Covington, they duked it out. Masvidal and Covington obviously having that bad blood camp, or fighting out of the same camp originally, old roommates, old good friends. Covington won. He actually ultimately prevailed. He was expected to win. And a lot of Masvidal, I mean, the fight kind of went how a lot of people expected it to go. Masvidal, tough as nails. He's a guy that is, nice striker. He's got, a solid chin. He stood in there with Covington. Covington continuously, I mean, he stayed engaged with them. He consistently stayed engaged. His conditioning is ridiculous. He continued to stay engaged with them. Obviously, Covington wanted to take him down. He didn't want to get into, although he can throw blows too. He didn't want to get into this kind of stand-up game with them every opening round. Anytime Masvidal would engage with him and get a couple of good strikes on him or hurt him a little bit, Covington would come out in the next round and immediately want to take him to the ground. And Masvidal, although he doesn't have a strong ground game as far as offense, he's nice in terms of his takedown defense. So a lot of times he was in unfavorable positions early in rounds, and we thought Covington was going to give him the business and end it, and he stuck it out. So great fight. Looks like maybe Poirier and Covington next. I don't know what's up with Masvidal. Been fighting fucking forever. Great heart, but we'll see what happens to that. And then obviously Usman and Canelo rumors. I don't know if that's one-sided. I don't know. I don't know.
I just saw anything. I just saw the Usman quote of how he wanted to fight him on Mexican Independence Day, which would be in September, I think. So, yeah. You don't know?
You don't know?
They don't say. It's September 16th, I think.
Our time just passed, so.
All right. Yeah. No, we'll see, man. I'll be cool. Yeah. I don't know if he'll. I'll take Canelo all day, every day. If that fight happens, I don't think. I don't know. Who would you? What do you think the odds?
100% Canelo.
Obviously, be favored to Canelo, but what do you think the odds would be?
Something stupid like Canelo would be probably minus fucking, I don't know, 800, just because Usman is a big name. He's got a lot of clout to him. So in terms of they're going to try to say, depends on how the public is betting is how the odds are. It's not, the odds don't directly represent, chances of winning.
Just the opening odds. Probably
Canelo minus 1,000 or something, minus something crazy.
Do you remember what the McGregor Mayweather odds were?
I think it's going to be more lopsided than that. The odds. I don't know what the opening odds were, but I think Canelo and Usman, the odds would be even more lopsided. I think people thought that McGregor had a better chance against Mayweather than Usman will have a chance against Canelo, rightfully so. Because Mayweather at the tail end of his career, Canelo's still very much so in his prime. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, because of the money. Usman, he's making probably about no more than $10 million a fight, so he's not approaching Canelo numbers.
Usman said they'll make at least 9 figures if they fought. So,
oh yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense for money, because he's got enough clout where people don't expect him to win, but people want to watch. I'd watch to see.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So
I'd watch that.
Yeah. So that's what's been going on. We'll see if anything materializes from that. That's all we have for today. I think we made great timing. Any closing statements? Anything you got for the people?
I just want to say, next pod that we come on, I want to be talking about a Jimmy G trade. I want to be grading that trade and how that's trade went for the 49ers. So I think the dominoes were just falling. First to start with Rodgers, then Wilson, and then Jimmy G's next on the block, even though he just had surgery. Come on.
Yeah, he should be good. It should be good.
Bring me the offers. And then in a couple of weeks, we got NFL free agency, so things are going to get spicy. Are going to get spicy. NFL free agency.
I was just going to talk about the closing statement. It definitely hurt Jimmy G's market when you see Russell Wilson getting the 2 first-round picks. Yeah, he got 2 seconds. How we talked about. He could have got more. So now what does Jimmy G get? What does Jimmy G get?
I'm still on board with the 2nd and the 5th. Even though that surgery kind of hurt a little bit, but there is so many desperate teams. Rodgers staying with the Packers helped Jimmy G. Broncos are one less suitor, but I never really saw him as a potential suitor for Jimmy G. But there's still the Panthers, there's still the Commanders, there's still the Colts, there's still Texans, there's still the Bucks, there's still the Saints. They all want to win, and they all are looking for a veteran quarterback, even though it's Jimmy G. But it's better than fucking Trevor. It's better than Trevor Siemian.
What, Trevor Siemian?
Yeah, it's better than Tyler Heineke. Come on now.
Yeah. Then you got to sign a guy like Teddy Bridgewater. We'll see. Yeah, but we'll get into it. Hopefully, there's some news that comes out. We'll get into it next pod. But thanks again, brother. Another episode done. Thanks everybody for listening, whether it's on YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I know Spotify actually had an outage today. Pissed me off when I was at the gym. They're at outage. Yeah, but so thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of the Average Joe Sports Podcast. All love as always. Appreciate y'all.
Peace and love.